Hello, everyone. My name is Danny the Two, and this is the Danny the Two podcast. Today's title is What is Love? So, I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out of the gate right now and just say, baby, don't hurt me. Okay, now that that is gone, everyone's had their fun. We've had their laughs. Let's go ahead and just hop right into the dictionary definition of what is love. That's probably the best place to start. Whenever you're asking what is noun, probably the dictionary definition is the best place to start. So the Google Dictionary defines it as an intense feeling of deep affection. I'm going to say that a little bit deeper because it sounds fun to say. Okay, ready? An intense feeling of deep affection. Okay, assuming that did not turn you off completely, let's go ahead and go to the next logical step and talk about the different types of love. Because there are different types of love, and they are quite different. You cannot just answer the question, what is love, and have that be a solid answer unless you talk about the 7 different types of love, because they are so different. I cannot stress that enough. A lot of them are similar, but a lot of them are quite different. I got these from an article. I'm linking this in the show notes. That's what people call the description for podcasts. So let's just go ahead and just knock them all out one by one, just by their formally birth-given name. We have agape, eros, philia, philautia, storge, pragma, ludus, and mania. So that is a total of 8, looks like. Yep, 8. So let's just go over one by one. Agape is unconditional love. Now, I'm going to just take some of these quotes from the lifehack.org website that I've got this from. Again, if you are a college professor and you are all up in arms because I plagiarized, figure it out. I don't really care. So, agape is unconditional love. First, we have agape love. This is an altruistic, selfless, unconditional love. The Greeks thought it was quite radical, perhaps because so few people seemed capable of feeling it long term. Some people would describe agape as a type of spiritual love. For instance, Christians believed that Jesus exhibited this kind of love for all humans. He was selfless and sacrificed himself so that others could be rid of their sins. He suffered for the happiness of others. Next up, we have eros is the romantic love. This article looks like they misspelled it and they said Romanic love. There was no T. First, I thought maybe it originated in Rome, but eros was named after the Greek god of love and fertility. So I'm going to say that's just a typo. So eros is named after the Greek god of love and fertility. That is going to be very important because we're talking about love of a partner and fertility as in, just make sure your kids are not listening. I'm about to say a really naughty word. So just look to the left real quick. Look to the right. You don't see any kids. Okay, good. Okay. Sex. Yeah, okay, I said it. Okay, we can move on. Okay, so we're good. The Greeks were actually quite fearful of this love, strangely enough. They thought that because human beings have an instinctual impulse to procreate, that this love was so powerful, and it would remain in a loss of control. That's very interesting to me. Eros is the type of love that most people probably think of, romantic love, because that is the type of love that is so frequently displayed in music and in movies. So when the word love is said, usually it's safe to say that's talking about romantic love. I'm going to knock out the rest of them pretty quick. Philia, affectionate love. Philautia, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Philautia, who knows? Self-love. So that's very interesting because both philia and philautia are very platonic. They don't have anything to do with sex because, self-love, to each his own. But to affectionate love, that's just talking about love, like almost cute love, I guess. Not quite, because we're going to get into a more playful kind of love. But philia, the affectionate love, that's mostly just a friendship love. This article describes it as, this type in particular is often referred to as platonic love, love without sexual acts. So with that, we have storge is familiar love. That's also just kind of friends, but it's more of a parent-child love. It's very non-sexual, not physical or sexual in any way, but it's a strong bond for familiarity. That's Storge. Nobody gives a shit about that one, so let's move on. Pragma is enduring love. That is kind of like old people, I guess. They hate their wives, they hate their husband. They say the kind of old married couples who have been together since their teenage years and still hold hands. Well, that's a great example of pragma. Unfortunately, this kind of love is somewhat rare to find, especially in society today. These days, people seem to think that grass is always greener on the other side, and therefore they do not have the patience or desire to watch love grow over time. Aww. Last two, we have ludus, that's playful love, and that's pretty fun. And then we have mania, that is obsessive love, that is significantly less fun. So this article also talks about some love languages stuff. I thought about getting into that, but I might save that for another one, or I might just leave it at that. But I wanted to talk about something that, going back to the original question, what is love? If you're asking that because you want to know what kind of love you have for somebody else, or what you perceive another person has that kind of love for you, I think it is safe to say that healthy relationships have a mixture of some of these. I think in most romantic relationships, you should obviously have eros, that is the romantic love. You should also have agape, the unconditional love. You probably want to have philia, the affectionate love, and ludus, the playful love. Pragma, the enduring love, is something that will probably and hopefully develop over time. And if you have a lot of these types of love, you don't want to have self-love or the mother-child love. That's creepy. But if you have a lot of the combinations of these, then you will probably find yourself in a successful, loving relationship with another person. So if you have the familiar love, if you have storge with somebody, that's probably going to be all that you need to have a successful relationship with a family member. If you have pragma, you can combine that with just a friendship type love. And that will just be a good friend that you can have as somebody who you can trust and talk to. Maybe even ludus. You can have some playful love. A lot of what people describe as the boys, where you have people who you can trust and you can also have fun with. Those types of people, you probably find them with a mixture of philia, storge, pragma, and ludus. And if you have an obsessive ex-girlfriend, then you might have mania, but I didn't find that one too interesting or relatable, so I'm not going to talk too much about that one. I think these types of love, it's important to know what these different types of love are, and you can look into different types of love and how they are typically used in relationships, and you can kind of figure out where you stand with people in your life. Perhaps you have a loved one, a romantic partner who just doesn't seem very playful. You might realize they just don't interact with you using playful love. They don't use ludus. Maybe you have somebody who seems to be playful, but they don't seem to be like affectionate in any other way. They don't really give you any reason to trust them or hang out with them other than just to have fun. And that might just be an acquaintance that you just like to screw around with. And that's okay. You just have to know what you're getting into, what kind of love is being given to you, and you can return that love if you feel like you should. And if you want to engage in different types of love, then make sure that you do it consensually. Otherwise, you go to jail, and I am not about that life. So with that, I have described the different types of love and kind of given my thoughts on how to combine them and have a successful relationship with whatever you are doing with a person. So I think that is a good place to cut it. So I'm going to just say that's a wrap.